Hello, 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 and welcome to another episode of Philo. We are on episode 39. Runaway Philo. Philo has decided to leave Bluto, and he is on his way to a battered Philo shelter. We have Chuck Whelon today as guest artist. I'm going to bring up his board because that's where sound's linked today.
Yes.
But we have Chuck Whelon as guest artist. Let me bring up your little captiony here that says who you are and where to find his stuff. Chuck is a San Francisco cartoonist who is deep in the woods of the San Francisco music scene and art scene out there, and has open studios and a bunch of books, and gave me a stack this high when I visited him of like books he's published. So he humbles me greatly, and I appreciate having you on the show today. And
thanks for having.
Oh, that's okay. I'm doing this.
Right,
yeah.
Yeah. All right. Thanks for having me too, Amber. It's good. Thanks for helping me on my show this morning. You've got Robin. I've got Dale.
Yes.
Those guys could probably do a show. You know, that would be a popular show. Robin and the Dale show.
So today we actually have Bruce on Cat Cam as well, and so Bruce will be filling in as the part of Robin until she shows up. And so let me put Philo in the big window. Boop. And let me recap where we're at.
All right, the story moves along a pace. Like I come in from one time to the next, and quite a lot's happened.
Yes, and the storytelling in story 2 has been a lot tighter than the storytelling in story 1.
Okay.
And so the last artist I had was James Banderas Smith. So he has this like cool, wild style. And so Philo decides it's over with Bluto. And so he's telling him, it's over, Big B. And oh my God, you were mean. Get the fuck out, right? And then Philo tells Armand, Armand wants to help and he needs to go to the battered Philo shelter. And then we cut back to the dog. And the dog is playing Russian roulette with the mushroom people. So, meanwhile, back to where Philo's at. Back to Philo.
Wait, what was that?
What? The mushroom people?
There. What was that? What's going on there?
Oh, well, we'll get to that. And so,
as if I didn't know. Yeah.
Ian?
Who came up with that idea? Was that one of Dale's ideas?
I think it was actually one of Rob's ideas. So back to Philo and Armand. So Armand is helping Philo, and then we are catching up with them. And so Armand's saying, "Give me shelter, get it." And Philo's like, "Oof," and they're on their way traveling. And then meanwhile, Bluto is revenge fucking, and so there he is with olive oil, and that's where we left off.
I shouldn't admit, I bought a comic this week. I went to the Silver Sprocket, which is a good local sort of comics collective that they've got like a lot of crazy stuff there. I saw they had an adult section. I was like, I'm not really looking at the adult section. But then I thought they had a comic called Anal Wizard, which made me sort of laugh. I thought it was quite funny. And then I opened it. It was quite a large format. And inside it was like full color. I left it upstairs. I'll have to show it next week. It was like a choose your own adventure comic. Quite detailed. I was like, oh my goodness, someone's really committed.
But it's a porn
crazy
comic.
idea.
I can't talk ill of porn comics because that's what paid my tuition in college. And so like me drawing for Eros and like they were consistently paying, it was $150 a page, and they didn't try and nickel and dime me on it. And so they were a good, consistent client. And anyway, so do you want to take first panel, or do you want me to take first panel?
I'm going to let you start off because I need to take a minute to get my bearings. But there's some interesting stuff going on. Like the underground comics, they're much more like wacky right now. Like the thing that store, I was just blown away by how much like out there wacky stuff.
Yes.
Compared to before things were a little more. I don't know. It felt more like when the 60s. Although there was a cool scene like in the 90s and the 2000s.
There we go.
It wasn't as sort of anarchic as that sort of 60s.
So what happens after everything that happened. Should we cut back to the dog? You know, what's the dog doing? Like the last 2 times we cut back to the dog, he was gambling with the mushroom people and lost. It was Snake Eyes, and he lost everything. And then he's playing Russian roulette with the mushroom people. So if we cut back to the dog, what's happening now? Like, can we cut back to the dog?
All right,
I don't know.
I'm going to pull up the previous reference, so I've got that all here. Hang on.
Okay, so I'm thinking it has to be worse than Russian roulette. So what's worse than Russian roulette?
What is worse than Russian roulette?
Yes, and let me turn off cat cam because we don't need cat cam anymore. Hi.
Hi.
Yes. Also, Chuck is
Canadian roulette. I was asking you what's worse than Russian roulette.
Yeah, what's
Canadian roulette? Charging a moose and hoping it doesn't attack you back?
Well, okay. So what's worse? Is he like strapped to the front of a car and they're like driving through a forest?
Oh, well, I've missed all this conversation. Can you give me a quick recap? I'm assuming the dog has lost to the mushrooms and now they're exacting some kind of pay?
It's strapped to the front of an ice road trucker vehicle, like as a mascot.
Says dog has to wear a frilly maid costume. So that's a lot more G-rated than where we're at. So I think my caption.
All right. Well, I did like. Yeah. All right.
I think my caption's going to be meanwhile back with the dog. And I'm gonna come up with something for that. And then what would panel 2 be? I guess we would be back with Philo.
I want to draw a dog in a frilly maid costume.
Oh, you want to draw the dog in the frilly maid costume? Do you want to take panel 1 then?
I'll take panel 1 and do a dog. Okay. Let me find the dog. All right.
It's just a dog. You don't have to. Yeah, you don't have to worry about like drawing any kind of particular dog. But yes, a dog has to wear a frilly maid costume, a sexy maid costume, and strapped to an ice-breaking truck. So that is what's going on with the dog. So I'm gonna do back to Philo.
Yeah. All right.
And so where's Philo and Armand now? Like, what have they done?
Is that my caption? The dog has to wear.
No. Your caption is meanwhile back with the dog.
Meanwhile back with the dog, right?
Yes, but the description of him is that he's wearing a frilly maid costume and he's strapped to an ice breaking truck.
Okay.
How are you, Miss Kay? Or I'm sorry. How are you, Miss Robin?
I'm
was
good.
looking at Kay's name when I said that.
I'm good. How are you guys? It's Canadian Thanksgiving up here.
Yay, Canadian Thanksgiving! So it's lots of food and family and your little nephew being like loved by everybody then?
Yes. Interestingly enough, he did his first poo on his potty today.
Good.
Okay.
It's a big deal.
Right. I feel like my little square is too small. I want to do the bigger square, but you said not too much detail. All right.
I don't want too much detail. Yeah, and I want it to look good on camera too. And if you do it too big, then the camera doesn't capture everything.
All right. Well, I think this is the corners. Yeah. All right. Okay, I think I'm in good here.
Yeah. So I'm trying to make it easy on you, Chuck.
Right. It's just quite a lot to get in, like a whole ice road truck and.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Let's see. It could have been.
I said that right. Yeah, nice road truck.
Kay says that it can be strip poker with the dog. If you want, like strip
poker.
No, I'm committed to the French maid on the ice road.
On the ice truck. Yeah. Okay. So back to Philo and Armand. So what's going on with Philo and Armand? Like, because I got to figure out what to draw too. And I'll put you in the main window so people can see what you're drawing. What do you think, Robin?
Well, they were in a car driving away. That was the last panel.
No, they were in the city traveling still.
Oh, no, wait, no. Didn't they end up at the shelter?
I don't know if they ended up at the shelter. So going back to that page so that we can see. Come on. Yes, my child. She's doing after me. And I gotta load it up. Let's see. So what we see is there's a calamari factory, and I don't know if he's at the shelter. It just looks like he's in the city. So
yeah, I thought the shelter was behind them and they were about to go in.
Okay, well, I could just do them at the shelter. And
no, but I thought that's what we agreed upon, is that was the trajectory of the story. Correct me if I'm wrong. I'm not.
Oh, wait.
Anything.
No, I got it. Group therapy is, Philo's going to be in group therapy with a bunch of other. Should they be more Philos if it's a battered Philo shelter?
Yes.
Yeah,
exactly.
I think they should all be Philos. And let's see, the first poop
Thanks,
is a
Kay.
big deal. Congratulations, says Kay.
I never understand what's going on in this story from one panel to the next. I'm just like, tell me what's happening in this panel.
It's okay, we understand.
It makes a kind of sense towards the end.
I guess I'm just gonna have to wait until the book comes out.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. That reminds me. I gotta make that form that you recommended. Hello, Dale. Yo, Robin, Chuck, and Amber, says Dale.
Oh, Dale.
Good evening, sir.
I've been thinking about you all day today, Dale.
Aw. Let's see. Yes, Kaiju, says Kay.
Did you eat any of the guests at the wedding?
I don't know if he did.
I'm a little concerned. Like, Dale's a very nice guy, so I'm a little concerned he might be a cannibal.
Yeah, it certainly sounds that way. Or he's a Godzilla kaiju.
No,
okay,
I
then
met
he wouldn't be a
him.
cannibal. I guess if he ate people, if he was a kaiju and he ate people, then technically he wouldn't be a cannibal. So it would be okay to love him again.
Let's see. So Philo group therapy, and then we're gonna have a bunch of Philos. And for whatever reason, my I don't know, my computer's acting up. I should really restart it, and then that will fix everything. But I just haven't done that yet, and I forgot to do it before the show. So it's okay. I will survive. But,
Can you sing it like Gloria Gaynor?
let's see. I lost Robin again.
Hey, I had to change my settings because it kept going dark every minute. So
Okay.
it's not, my screen's not going to darken after 30 minutes.
Okay. Yeah. Well, I mean, you're trying to save your battery. So what did you do today on Canadian Thanksgiving?
Worked like a MF. I did no eating, no nothing.
Canadian Thanksgiving.
Yeah, everyone makes a big deal about it, but honestly, the only thing is that it's earlier than you guys because we get winter sooner, so the harvest got brought in earlier. That's why ours is in October and not November.
Okay, that's what you're thankful for, Canadian harvest.
But yeah, I'm not going to my parents.
Right,
I'm going to a friend's house.
Harvest festival.
Oh, so you're
in England we had the harvest festival. We didn't have Thanksgiving.
Are you going to have a big
Grateful
meal?
for what you got.
Yeah, customarily you go to I would go to my parents, and my brothers are going with the nephew and the girlfriend, and have a big meal all together. But this time I'm going over to a friend's house instead because I've been doing that for 10 years. So
Well, Friendsgiving is very good too. And then let's see. Sorry, I was getting a Kit Kat bar while you talked poop about me. And then Kay says, "Well, that sucks." And Dale says, "I went to Tim Hortons today. I had honey dipped Timbit. They attract
That's the best.
wasps."
That's my favorite Timbit. I had some of those today too. Some honey dipped Timbits. One of the ladies that I work with, whenever we have a crazy day, she buys a bunch of Timbits and candies and things to help us get through it.
What language is this showing?
What? You don't like Timbits?
I've no. What are you saying?
It's a dish at Tim Hortons.
No, it's not a dish. What it is it's actually, so you know what a donut looks like, right? It's got the hole punched out of the middle. A Timbit is that hole punched out of the middle. It's like a little round donut ball.
Right, donut.
And then the honey dipped ones, in my opinion, are the best. And it looks like Dale agrees because he went and had some.
Let's see. Snow and ice harvest in Canada, says Kay. They're teasing you today. That's not nice, Kay.
No, we like kind of Dale. Dale's got out. He went out. He travelled across the country at great personal risk.
Yeah, the donut hole is the fillet of the donut, says Dale.
The tenderloin of the donut.
Tenderloin of the donut.
Is there a movie called The Day of the Donut? We should get that one.
Just for that, I'm going to add donuts to the Philo group therapy room, So there's like a box of donuts in the back there. And they should be in like, I don't know, like a hotel meeting room. Let's see, I was out dining unmasked today, says Dale. Yes! So how was it being unmasked in public for the first time in many years?
And why? Why was today the catalyst?
Oh, he went to a wedding today.
Oh,
because it's now the pandemic is like officially like over for at least 2 years.
He says, it was terrifying as fuck, and that's understandable. Let's see.
It's all right, Ted. We're all going to die. Some of us sooner than others. It's very sad. The best people were already gone. That's just how it is.
That's just how it is.
There's just our shitheads left.
Let's see. It looks kind of celebratory, but I was trying to make it look just like, this is just a banner that they have. I don't know. Maybe I should make my little divots less large. Let's see.
Yay,
divots! Krispy Kreme donuts back in Minnesota. And then
Krispy Kreme is the best.
Yeah, Ian's a big fan of Krispy Kreme.
I think we talked about this already, though.
Yeah, I like a thicker donut. I like something with a little bit more girth to it.
What is this dog supposed to have done?
What do you mean in general, or with the mushroom?
It's being having this punishment inflicted upon it.
Well, I was thinking we're just going to see the dog have this crazy adventure separate from Philo, and then like towards the end of the story, we're going to have them meet up.
Having a separate adventure, so he might just be having some fun here.
He might be, but I was thinking like it's getting deeper and deeper and deeper for the dog. Was my kind of general...
it's getting quite kinky in this one.
Yeah. Let's see. Dale says, pre-wedding lunch, wedding tomorrow unmasked, will quarantine when I get back as to not infect folks, and Krispy Kreme sucks, says Dale.
Agree to disagree.
And then I know too many people who got it recently to dismiss COVID. Wear the damn mask, says Kay.
Why does he say what's he got in for Krispy Kreme? He likes Dunkin' Donuts.
I'm not a fan of Dunkin' Donuts.
Me either. I mean, I guess they're good donuts, but they're boring to me.
So here's me showing my poorness. Is I like the grocery store donuts.
The grocery store.
Yeah, the ones that they make at the bakery at the grocery store.
I used to like the Dunkin' Donuts. Like, I would go and get their croissant, their breakfast croissant, and a cup of coffee. What? I love that. Croissant. What do you call it? Croissant.
I'm not making fun of you. That's how I say it as well. People make fun of us because we use the French word croissant.
No, it's because Americans can't pronounce it and they go crescent.
Croissant.
Yeah.
Yeah, a croissant. Okay.
I only know how to pronounce it right because Jean-Luc Picard said croissant in an episode, and I went, "Ooh, that's a fancy word."
Croissant.
All right. Well, look,
there's a lot of French C words that I really like, actually.
That makes it automatically posh.
Yeah. Let's see.
That's what we hate the French. We keep going to wars against the French.
Kay says, "Excellent, Chuck. I agree. Krispy Kreme sucks." And then I know too many people. Oh yeah, talking about COVID. And Krispy Kreme are mostly air. Always support your local independent donut shop. And Kay says after 6 p.m. you get 2 for 1. Dunkin' Donuts are great.
Yeah, I usually get my donuts at this place called Beechwood. It's like a vegan donut shop, and I only get one because they're pretty heavy, but they usually have like really interesting flavors. Like my favorite one so far, and they haven't had it ever again, was this like blueberry lime. No, it was a blueberry lemon. Sorry, a lemon blueberry. It was really yummy.
Good. Yeah, I have to say probably I'm not a very good cook, but I can bake.
See, that's not easy. I'm a pretty good cook, but I can't bake. I don't have the patience, or I don't do it exact enough, or what. But
yeah,
so
you gotta be
baking is hard.
Yeah.
You can say it's easy, but to some people it is hard.
Yeah.
Well, it's chemistry. And,
yeah, it is.
And the thing is you do have to be exact. And I think a lot of people, like Ian says, that cooking is kind of loosey-goosey. Like every piece of meat is different. You have to feel your way through it, right?
You just taste. It's like tasting, and you're like, exactly. I like that, I don't like that.
Sometimes one piece of meat may require more salt than another, right? Mm-hmm. And so, let's see, Tim Hortons, anyone in Canada at least, says, read the freaking comics. So I don't know who Read the Freaking Comics is over on your YouTube channel.
Yeah. Okay. Oh, yeah. Okay, that's a new subscriber. Thank you. Hi.
Yeah, hi.
Read the Comics. Yes.
Look. Yeah, his rating is in blue.
They're doing
hi, little base guy.
They're doing in-depth reads of comics.
Oh, cool.
On their channel. So that looks interesting.
Nice. Yeah.
So yeah, thanks for tuning in here. I don't know anything about Hortons, Tim Hortons. Okay, I've heard it.
Yeah.
There's different things. There's Tim Hortons. There's Willie Horton. That's a different thing.
We've already talked about Tim Hortons. They give me food poisoning all the time, and most of Canada doesn't exactly love them. They're just convenient.
Dale says you have to cook with hate. The more hate, the better the dish. And then Little Base Guy is asking how we are. I'm pretty good.
Thank you.
You know, I'm drawing Philo crying his eyes out. I should Armand be there supporting him?
Yes.
In his group?
Dude, we love Armand. He's gonna make the right choices all the time.
Okay, so he's going to be there supporting it. And the more you curse in the kitchen, the better the food. Salty language seasons the food, says Dale.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, it's, this sounds bad, but like, if I hear Spanish coming from the kitchen, it's going to be good food. It sounds bad. It sounds bad, but
right. I don't know. You've obviously never been to Spain.
No, it's like
I don't know.
I've worked in kitchens.
There's bad food in Spain too.
I have buckets full of trauma in regards to swearing during cooking, so I'm not going to talk about it.
Oh no, you poor thing! I don't want to trigger you.
No, it's okay. I'm a strong person. I'm just saying. Buckets of trauma.
I'll tell you what, though. I know what Emma's talking about. I'm just kidding, because I first time I went to Mexico, I was like, everywhere we ate, really, I thought the food was amazing. I was like, oh. Then I really got it about Mexican food.
Yeah, you can tell the difference. Let's see. The more you curse in the kitchen, I'm not just making sure I'm not losing any comments, because I have to read them in like a few different spots here, but that's okay. Yeah, it's. How are you doing with your dog? Here, I'll put me in the main window for a little bit, because I've been in the small window for a little bit.
Well, I'm getting on with it. Yeah, the ice road truck here. I've got a dog. For some reason, there's a dog dressed as a French maid. Not stapled. Sorry, tied to the front of an ice road truck, but possibly for its own amusement.
So stapled would definitely be kink. Yeah. If you were stapled to the front of the truck, then the dog's
stapled. It's tied on. But I don't know.
He's zip tied on. Put little zip ties to the grill and him.
Yeah. It's zip tied onto the grill. But I don't quite understand why. Other than
me either. I'm on that score. I'm eating my new favorite thing.
What's that?
They're these like almond meringues. So you know how like meringue cookies are all like powdery and melt in your mouth? But these, because they have the almond, they're like chewy and caramelly and delicious.
Nice. Good for you. Yeah, we had donuts this morning for breakfast. And they were the grocery store donuts, and they were enjoyable. Okay. Yes.
Yay, donut!
Yay, donuts!
Yeah. Well, the best donuts are the ones you enjoy with your friends and family.
I know he's canceled, but the best skit Bill Cosby probably ever did in his life was when he fed chocolate cake to his kids for breakfast, and
all the life whole is for great.
Yeah.
Eating chocolate cake. Yes, I know that bit. Yes, he lost a bet with the mushroom people, says Kay. That's okay. What's going on with the dog is he lost a bet.
And then, so this is his punishment.
Oh, okay. Okay. The mushroom people are somehow like, he lost a bet with the mushroom people. All right. So that. So
you can have like the mushroom people either driving the truck or near or around the truck. You know what I mean?
Okay, yeah, I'll do it like the mushroom person. So, and the mushroom people.
Hi, Magic Marmot.
Hi, Magic Marmot. Magic Marmot got to visit the house that burned down and said that the upstairs is lost and the downstairs and the basement are covered in mold from all the fireman's water.
Oh
yeah. Oh, no. So it's pretty bad. Let's see. Hi, Magic Marmot, says Kay.
I'm sorry to hear that, Magic Marmot. That's twice as awful.
Yeah. I just want to emphasize that Rob does still have his GoFundMe going. So if anyone is, so inclined, let's see. I think I have a caption for it. I thought I had a caption for it. Today, Philo stream, Willy Wonka quote. No. Special fundraiser. Okay. See? Who lost his house in fire, GoFundMe link in the description. I will add the GoFundMe link a little bit later. And then our garden finally reopened, and I had a great shoot this morning. Good for you. The weather was cool enough that I got sleeping bees. Yeah, Low Bass Guy is part of a creative community on Discord that I recently joined, and he's an amazing photographer. And so he got all these sleepy bees like on his fingers and stuff. And then Dale says
cool.
The food in Columbus, Ohio has been hit or miss. The North Market Food Hall had amazing lobster rolls. The 4.5-star York Steakhouse was a time machine to the 70s, and you could see on the steaks where the jockeys hit them. Had clam strips from White Castle tonight. For lunch, went to an Indian buffet, favorite place of bridal couple, and had stewed goat.
I was really upset to read about your review of the Billy Ireland Museum. I totally thought it would be a lot better than that, Dale.
Oh yeah, Dale. What was all
I can understand your dismay. I totally can.
Right. I didn't read
why is it a ripoff?
What happened?
It's hardly any comics there. You couldn't see hardly anything. No merchandise of any kind. No gift shop. It was made. It was like it was made for people who weren't into comics.
Let's see. The Billy Ireland Museum
is supposed to be like the ultimate North American treasury, is it not?
Yeah, he said he thought it was like money laundering or something.
Wait, what?
It's very possible. You don't know.
He spent too much money there.
Chuck, can you move up the art?
Oh yeah, sorry.
Thank you.
But if Dale likes, I can spend 10 minutes describing my experience at the comic book museum in Belgium. It was quite wonderful and amazing. I have lots of things to tell you about it. It would renew your faith in comics.
I really enjoyed my experience at the Cartoon Art Museum in San Francisco.
Yeah, and then, that's small though. When I went, it was small. I don't know if it still is, but it was small.
But Andrew Ergo, the curator, is doing the damnedest he can to get great exhibits in there.
Oh yeah, when I was there, it was pretty decent. It was a bunch of different stuff though.
Another museum that I really, really recommend is the Norman Rockwell Museum. That was amazing to see his paintings in person. Like, the man truly was a master that was not appreciated in his day. And I was blown away by his four freedoms, that when you walk in, there's a center hall and everything's kind of spokes out of that center hall. And in that center hall, they have the four freedoms between the entrances to the different wings.
Wait,
And
how
so-
is Norman Rockwell not appreciated in his day?
He was
Thank you, Chuck.
so Norman Rockwell was quote unquote considered an illustrator and not a painter.
Okay.
And so he
All right. Yeah. Okay. So there was
saw
some sort of
himself.
prejudice in the fine art world.
Yes, he
You're
saw
saying that
himself
these
as an
days
illustrator.
we should consider him a fine artist and not an illustrator.
Did you know that the redheaded kid in the Norman Rockwell paintings, who's like, there's always this redhead kid in a lot of them, and then like eventually he's like a redheaded teenager.
Yeah.
That's his next door neighbor. That kid was the kid of the guy who ended up drawing Prince Valiant after Hal Foster retired. Because there's this really good book called what's it called? I think it's called Living in Cartoon County, and it's written by the son.
Yes.
And
they
it's
all
like
lived up in the same area.
Yeah, they all live together, like with the guy who did Hagar the Horrible, and you know, like all these different cartoonists live in this one little place in upstate New York. But the craziest story in that book wasn't just like the whole Norman Rockwell thing, and that was pretty neat. But the biggest, craziest story for me is, okay, so who also lived up there in that same area was J.C. Lindecker. Do you guys know that artist from the 40s and the 20s?
Oh yeah,
Not
J.C.
offhand.
Lindecker. Yeah, sure.
Yeah, he's amazing with light, and his stuff is very Art Deco, angular, gorgeous. When he passed away, like his gay lover just gave all that art away to the neighbors. Just like left it on the driveway and was just like, take it all. And I was just like, what? That is insane.
Yeah. It's, you know, it's weird. It's like, I'm learning about providence. Do you know what providence is in like antiques and stuff?
No, that's provenance.
Provenance?
Yeah. Providence is like Rhode Island.
Okay, well, Providence.
Providence is like Providence said that we could come to America and take it over.
Yeah, well, what it is it's the history of the ownership of something, right? So if something was owned by Queen Elizabeth at one point, then that means something to somebody who owns that object now.
Yeah.
Right? And so I've been learning about that, and it's like people just make up stuff all the time. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, yes. I mean, that's part of it. Is like, you know, there's a lot. It's a you know, some of my family's in that business. It's a wheeling dealing business, I would say. You know, it's like, I don't know. Did you ever used to watch Lovejoy?
Yes.
Yes. Watch British
my
people,
parents were obsessed with that TV show.
Yeah.
I don't think we got
I prefer him in Deadwood, but yes, Lovejoy.
Right, but I didn't really like that show at first, but then after I watched a few of it, I did get a bit into it because it sort of was about the wheeling dealing nature of that business.
Interesting.
You know,
yeah, Auntie's Roadshow was like, just in Denver, and I missed it.
And getting one over, and rich people who've got a lot of stuff, you know, and then sort of collectors who've got stuff, and people who've got junk, and finding the good stuff. And it used to be different. I think it really got changed by eBay.
So Kay says he was considered an illustrator, says Kay. San Francisco Cartoon Art Museum is small, but they can get amazing shows and they have a nice gift shop. Dale says, may I respectfully disagree about Rockwell and interject? Kay says, does that not suck in provenance? So Kay, you know, also corrected me. Dale says, Rockwell always wanted to be an illustrator, and in his day, illustrators were rock stars and made big dough and endorsed products. It was later that art snobs denigrated illustrators and cartoonists. Rockwell was proud to be an illustrator. He also used any damn tool he could to finish a job. I love
that's good.
Yeah, I love Lovejoy. Now, one thing that I found interesting about Rockwell too is that he kept his studio spotless. Absolutely, after every day of painting with oil paint, he wiped up all the oil paint off the floor.
Well, I just went up and cleaned my brushes after this morning, but that's the first time I've done that in weeks.
Oh no, you clean your brushes every time. What's wrong with you?
I don't know. Then they get more character. Well.
Let's see, let me do this. And I'm trying to make Armand look like, I don't know, okay here. Like he's caring.
Yeah, no, he looks really good. I like Armand.
Let's see. All right,
His
so
head is perfect. But
now here's my question:
truck is awesome too.
Does Otis count as a Philo?
Yes, he does, but I don't know if he's there.
What is Philo? Philo's an alien of some kind.
Well, Otis was born of Philo's vomited fingers.
Oh well, that makes it all perfectly clear. I think you told me that before. Now I know it's coming back.
I love your dog, by the way. I think that's awesome. With the mushroom people driving with their manic expressions, I think that is beautiful.
Yeah, I think I'm just about done with that panel. I've written underneath. I'll do it in the pen in the template. So I'll scan that and I'll drop it in the square template, and then I've got meanwhile back with the dog.
Yeah, and so I have back to Philo. Yours is meanwhile with the dog, and so just meanwhile back
with the dog is what I wrote.
Get rid of the word back, and then that way it doesn't repeat itself with the captions. Let's see. Rockwell also liked to reuse models. His book, My Adventures as an Illustrator, and Rockwell on Rockwell are must reads. And I don't have a copy of Rockwell on Rockwell.
I've heard good things. Rockwell action. That sounds good.
Well, he did this one painting of a boxing match, and I think it was for a different magazine than Saturday Evening Post. Okay. And it was so fluid. It reminded me of a Rembrandt. It was just gorgeous in person. You know, it just radiated light. Like it was, I love his stuff. Anyway, okay, so you are almost done with your panel. I am pretty much done with my panel. And so are you ready for panel 3?
Yeah.
Okay, excellent. So let's do this. Let's go duplicate layer. So if you're going to do panel 3, I'm going to do panel 4.
All right, Robin, does that look like an ice road truck? Because I don't know. I mean, you probably see those things all the time.
Yeah. Can I look at it in the big panel for a second?
Yeah, absolutely.
Yes. The only thing is, you see how you have that plow? That same plow would be on the other side. Like it would be a triangle. You know what I mean?
Yeah, okay. Well, I could do that. Yeah, all right.
That's literally my only criticism.
It looked like it was really all on one side, but all right.
I get it, but I'm just saying, like, that's the only criticism as far as authenticity.
Yes, that's awesome. You know, I feel like there needs to be some debris.
I feel like there should be little mushrooms growing on the truck because it's like their truck. You know what I mean? Like mushrooms follow them everywhere.
Oh.
They just start growing on stuff.
At the same time, I think it's also
I could give it a little
on
wash.
The panels. Oh, you want to wash it?
Yeah. No, it looks really good. I like it. I like it a lot.
If you want to wash it, I can shade my panel, and then that'll slow me down.
Okay.
And
I'll do that then. I was thinking I was going to do that earlier.
Okay. I am adaptive.
That's why I'm working on the watercolor paper, because I think I sort of like what the watercolor look at, and it's actually quite simple with the watercolor.
Let's see.
Because you can just do like a gray.
Yeah, I thought you were going to be working on Bristol.
Well, no, I thought. Well, you said about doing a wash, so I got my little watercolor.
Okay.
I did it on my watercolor paper. Yeah.
All right. I'm not gonna deny it. I'm not gonna stop you.
Well, let's see. I think it'll just be a little bit.
Yeah. Well, yeah. I'm just kind of adding a little bit of a wash to mine as well.
Well, all right. Well, I'm looking forward to hearing all about Dale at this wedding.
Let's see. Yeah, so we still have Rockwell information in our chat. Where should we go for the next few panels? Like when we get there, is we have Philo at the Philo group therapy. Talking about like the horrors of being Philos. Yeah, and having like horrible partners, I guess. I don't know.
I think they should have a giant group hug and then they all feel better.
Yeah.
Well, because I'm trying to think of, there's no way we can show deep emotional therapeutic catharsis.
We could do
panels.
a montage.
What are you talking about, Robin? It's comics. We can do what we want.
Yes,
Right.
montage.
If you guys can envision how
Robin, all you have to
our
do is
Philos go through deep emotional, physical catharsis, then have
Yeah.
at it, guys.
all you have to do is literally write. It's comics. You just write, and they all went through deep emotional catharsis.
You know,
And-
here's
and
another
that'd
thing too, is you can literally have him open up his chest and pull the pain out and like kick it on the ground. It's
Oh, that's a good idea. That's a really good idea. That's what they all do. They rip out all their pain into the middle of the thing and they set it on fire.
Okay, yeah, we can do that. Let's see. Rockwell was illustrating before World War I, and he was desperate to serve. The recruiter filled him with donuts and bananas to make the weight. In the army camp, he drew and painted his fellow soldiers until the camp commander made him his personal artist. He was so well liked in the camp when the 1908 flu hit the camp, the doctor tossed him out of the army hospital and had Rockwell pile on blankets and sweat out the flu.
Oh, well, that's nice.
Yeah.
Actually, if you do a nice picture of somebody, then they really think you're great.
You know, there's also that famous story of Picasso where a woman asked for a sketch and it took him like 2 minutes to do the little sketch, and and he's like, it'll be $200, and she's like, you just whip that thing out, why is it $200? He's like, it only took me like 30 seconds but a lifetime to learn how. And so it's people,
it's really difficult, Amber. All right, okay, I'll tell you the story. You'll say I'm a bastard probably. So I was traveling in Egypt with my friends, and I was sitting sketching by the banks of the Nile in Aswan. And this guy comes up, like a young guy, probably about my age, and he had like a sort of pile of newspapers that he was selling.
Mm-hmm.
Arab guy with his friends, and he's like, "Oh, would you draw me? I'll give you a paper."
Yeah.
I was like, "Okay." And I sat there and I painted and I drew him, and a sort of crowd like came around.
Yeah.
They were watching. I was on my own at this point, but it was all right. And there were like quite a lot of people there looking, and they were liking the drawing. They're like, "Oh yeah, that's good." And I gave him the drawing, and then he wanted to give me a copy of the Egypt Times. And I said, "Well, no, I want the English newspaper." He was like, "Oh no, I don't want to give you the English newspaper." But he had the English newspaper on the top.
Yes, that one probably sells for more.
Which, yeah, I'm sure. Well, okay. Afterwards, I sort of thought about it, and I felt bad. All right, but I was like, "Oh no, I'm not going to give it to you."
So,
and then I walked off, and I had an old man coming after me, and he was like cursing at me and like saying all this and saying I was terrible. But I sort of stuck to my guns. I walked away. Afterwards, I did feel really bad. I thought, well, it's just like my stupid drawing. I should have just given it to him, and I really regretted it.
Are you ready?
I sort of learned from that. It was one of those experiences. But
are you ready for panel 3?
Yeah.
Are you?
No, not quite, but I don't know. I'm just saying that, Do
you want me to take panel 3 then, and then you can do panel 4 with leapfrog, and I'll give you more time to finish this one.
All right. Anyway, it's very complicated valuing your art. That's what that story is about. But in the end, I decided it's more important to, value people.
Okay, so I'm gonna take panel 3 then. And what we say was going to happen is that the Philos rip their paint out and burn it. Let's see. The Philos rip their paint out and burn it. Let's see. They wedding has been a serious mindfuck. I am seeing old pals I haven't seen in 7 to 10 years. People look older and pals suddenly have young kids. Some have college kids. Most are grayer with wrinkles. Yes, that happens. And I'm playing with finger puppets with the kids of the kids I used to play puppets with. These new parents were amazing. I had brought puppets for their kids. I feel old and am kind of freaking out with emotions. Oh, we're getting rated, by the way. We're getting rated with 3 raters from DT Creates. So thank you, DT Creates, for rating us.
Right, thanks.
We are working on what I call it, a live drawn improv.
An interactive comic.
Yes, an interactive comic. So thank you, Raid. Thank you, Sketchy Tracks and DT Creates for popping in. So the Philos rip their paint out and burn it is what we've decided. And so let's have that happening. So hello there, Artist Comics Cool. And then DT Creates is a crazy awesome comic artist. Oh, well, thank you, Low Base Guy. And I'm actually a comic book artist. Very cool. Yeah, it's
somebody talking about puppets.
Yeah, what kind of comics do you do, DT Creates? What kind of comics?
Does he do animal comics?
Oh, there's your puppet. Oh, I didn't realize that. Here, let me put you in.
What's his name?
In the
main... This is Theodore the Magma Bear. He's a little skinny today.
The Maga Bear?
Yeah.
No, ma'am. No,
yeah.
ma'am.
It's a Magma
again. Oh, Magma Bear.
Yeah, it's a Magma Bear.
Britain again.
Yes.
That's awesome. Well, as someone who used to reside in British Columbia, I completely understand.
So, DT Creates is currently working on a sci-fi comedy graphic novel, which sounds amazing. And then let me put
any bears
in the main window. And then Urfspace, I'm about to go to bed, and that will be the last image in my brain as I try to sleep.
A Magma Bear.
Yes, the Magma Bear.
It's haunting.
Not the little doggy. The little doggy on the ice truck. I like trucks. What do you don't like? Lots of things I like.
Trucks covered in honey or Marmite?
Yes. I like picnics.
Oh, well, thank you, DT Creates. I appreciate
British people
that.
like picnics. That's why they don't carry guns.
No, but they have sandwiches on their picnics.
Those are the kind of
sandwiches
people I want in America.
Oh, I love this show. It's kind of an anything goes
very
show.
Important. You think about the candidate who's going to make America Great Britain again.
Well,
candidates, one fat and tasty.
I should probably
food there. We all like the junk food.
I should probably talk to Gordon about making me another Sebastian Pennyworth III. I ran him for a presidential run in 2008. I filled out paperwork and everything. He didn't get any votes, but he was a puppet too. So it's rare to find fellow comic book artists here on Twitch. It is kind of rare to find fellow comic book artists on Twitch. And so, what should the pain look like? Should it be like?
I feel like it should be like black goop.
Like black goop? Okay. So
yeah, like an oil slick or tar.
Okay.
Certainly shouldn't look like sunshine and lollipops.
Yeah, okay, I can do black goop. I'll make it look like Venom.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I mean, what else could it be?
I don't know. But yeah, we're having them kind of do that. And then what I will do is I will have them starting to light it on fire. See, the Billy Ireland Museum, while small and a scam, had some originals that made me want to cry. They have some prep drawings of a mad fold in by Al Jaffe. Ooh, that's cool. An original marketing drawing of Calvin and Hobbes with the original Calvin design, a Schultz Sunday, a Crazy Cat. It was impactful, and I just wanted more. And then Spiky says Magic Marmot. So are you ready for the next panel then?
I'm ready for another panel, please.
Okay, so how about you do it where I'll do it where they rip their paint out and then you have them burn it. And then that way...
Wait, what?
Yes, they're ripping their paint out of their bodies and then they're going to burn it. So I'll just have the Philos rip their paint out. And then you can have them light it into a fire. And your caption is, and burn it.
Or maybe they blow it up. I don't know.
I guess I don't know.
I don't understand.
So because it's a comic book, the Philos are literally opening up their chest and ripping the paint out of their chest, and then they're going to light it on fire.
What? With a match?
Sure.
Well, that's why I was saying they could blow it up. I think it'd be really cool if they had it hooked up to dynamite, and then they had the little plunger.
Okay.
And all the Philos celebrate. Yay! We got rid of their pain.
Yeah.
So the caption is.
The caption is what and blow it up.
And blow it up.
Yeah, and so their pain looks like venom. It's like a black amorphous shape of evil.
Goop.
Yes.
Does it have? Okay. I'm not. Every question just deepens the mysteries.
Oh, what? You're trying to figure it out?
I'm just like, what the hell? I don't know what's going on.
That is
it's just
normal.
along for the ride.
Yeah, that is normal. It's okay. You should.
I just love hanging out with you guys. That's really fun, and I like drawing crazy things. So that's fun.
Yes.
No idea.
Yes.
One day I'll read it, and I'll be like, oh, what?
I did like your idea about doing the Google form and kind of making that like the explanation and stuff about how the books are going to be done.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I have to get that set up. There's a lot of work ahead of me for putting the books together. And like I said, I think I'm going to separate them by story. And then that way, they're small and it's not like a big omnibus of Philo.
That's a good idea.
Or you could do little mini square ones or something.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking too, like cute little chapbooks.
Yeah, I'm not thinking like that small, but I was thinking probably like 4 by 5 inches or so. Pretty small.
So you'd do them in a sort of 4 by 4 layout.
Yeah, something like that.
Yeah, that would be quite good. And then you could suddenly put a big one or something. I don't know why I keep thinking about that.
DT Crate says, happy to get dinner next time. Happy drawing. Low Base Guy says, speaking of Google Forms, have you thought about putting in a team application? I think you'd be great part of it. You're a good streamer and you support others. I've thought about it, but I'm momming right now and I don't know if my time is available for that. But I will look into it. And then Dale says, I was not impressed with the museum staff. Thing is, I can see more originals and talk to more knowledgeable comic nerds at WonderCon. I saw more art and was better treated in Chuck's basement during open studios.
Well, Dale, not everyone's going to give you that sort of treatment. I'm just telling you that's because we're good friends. I mean, come on.
There was no patience. There is no patience. Chuck has all the patience.
No, I don't know. Yeah, I mean, what? Okay, well, the Billy Island Museum, I mean, yeah, that's the least they could do. I wasn't that kind to Dale. I gave him a cup of tea. That was about it.
Well, I mean, I'm surprised Dale doesn't play in your D&D game. But I suppose the math thing.
It takes up a lot of time, and Dale's already got like quite a lot of interests and things. So,
yeah.
Yeah.
I feel like I would probably die the first game I ever played with you.
Not at all. This is a problem I get a lot, that people think that I'm like some sort of like sadistic dungeon master that wants to kill everybody. I mean, I try not to do that, but the dice will do it. They're usually, they kill themselves. It's not really about me trying to kill them. I'm excited when they manage to be successful. In any individual battle, if I'm rolling the dice, but any individual battle, I'm not. Yeah.
Let's see. Low Base Guy says, no worries. It doesn't require much more than you're already doing, but there's no pressure. I'm here if you have any questions about it. Okay. And what Low Base Guy is talking about is that creative community that I joined recently. And so it's just kind of like, let's support each other kind of community, which is nice. It's not like people, exchanging likes and shares and stuff, of like, oh, I'll like and share you if you like and share me. It's actually people going like, hey, what lenses are you using for your photography? It's a cool little community. And then Kay adds a little heart. Thanks, Kay.
Did we answer Pine Fox?
Pine Fox? Oh,
yeah, I'm saying someone from Urfspace is talking.
Yes, hello. There. What are you drawing? And hope your day is going well. Hi, Pine Fox. I'm sorry I didn't see your message right away. We are working on episode 39 of Philo, and Philo is a live drawn internet or live drawn improv comic is kind of what I'm calling it, and it's drawn with suggestions from the audience. And so that's what we're doing right now. How are you? What are you up to? Yeah, I didn't mean to ignore you, Pine Fox. Sorry.
Yeah, we get caught up in chatting and then we don't look at the comments.
Well, I have a sound cue for comments from my channels.
Okay.
And so I don't have a sound cue from comments from your channel.
Oh yeah, okay. So thank you. You came in through my YouTube, through my Twitch channel, Urfspace Twitch channel.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah, exactly. And so they're just checking you out, which is cool,
hi.
you know. You've been posting a lot on your YouTube lately. Are you also posting those to TikTok?
Yes. I'm sort of recently. I'm committing to I'm going to try and do one every weekday. I think I can sit down and do that. I'm also going to be starting up doing Urfspace every day as well. But I've got a bunch of commissions I'm doing for Goodman Games right now too, though. So I'm going to might have to wait a little longer on the Urfspace. But I am.
That's good.
Yeah.
Let's see. You've got 7 in here. You have to be getting close to that 3 average, says Low. Low base high. Yeah, I'm trying. I'm very close to affiliate on Twitch, and I keep trying to get 3 or more people interacting with my channel at once. But when I'm doing my drawing, just working on the Inktober's or whatever, I don't get as much interaction as I do during Philo. But that's okay.
Philo's a more interactive show, though.
Yeah.
It's difficult if you're trying to actually focus on your work to also be focusing on people who are taking an interest. But you're okay.
I don't know. I think it's a fun idea. I'm really glad that Hamill let me continue it, and and with his blessing and stuff. And he's tuned in and stuff, and he loves what I'm doing with it, and he likes the new format. And so one thing I do like about this versus the old format is the old format was a call-in show, and so I would have randos calling in, and we had no call screeners. So sometimes it was weird, it was bizarre. Sometimes we had people making requests of us that it's it's a good thing that the FCC doesn't monitor public access as closely as they do other things.
You weren't doing it on OnlyFans.
Yeah, no, I wasn't doing that. But I had people demanding to see my boobs and stuff,
Yeah.
And
appropriate.
And so I like having chat, because if I do happen to get someone that's rude or whatever, I can just ban them. Dale says, by the way, the fact that museum didn't have museum merch spoke a lot. They closed the reading room before the close time, and I had to beg to get in. The staff member let me photograph the awards there and didn't know the Reuben was named after Rube Goldberg and designed by Rube Goldberg and was actually an old lamp design. The art labels were infuriating because everything was ink on paper. That I complained about. In my defense, that conspiracy theory I called in was totally true. It's all in the microwaves, man, says Low Base Guy. And then let's see, it took me 2 years to make affiliate, says Low Base Guy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We're at least 3/4 now, or what?
Well, listen,
we're definitely over half a year.
Yeah.
You're doing well. On my live stream last week, we had somebody came in. He came back this week. It looked great to have him on. But, he's like, are you new to this? And we're like,
yeah,
we've only been doing it 2 years. But yeah, I don't know. There's a sort of professional level of live streaming that I guess can be achieved. I haven't managed it yet.
Let's see. Should Armand be in this shot, with the Philos pulling out the evil from within them? The bad feelings? If he's there to support Philo.
Armand?
Yes, he is the octopus.
Oh, the octopus. Right.
Yes.
Yeah. All right.
Yes. I love trying to talk about the show. Love your guys' art style. It's so cool, says Pine Fox, by the way. And then wait, seeing Amber's and Chuck's boobs are an option, says Dale. And then going back to Low Base Guy about the making affiliate. I don't know. Like, I've been so close. When I've gotten more than 3 people watching it, I'm like below the hours, right? And then when I raise the hours, the people watching it goes down. So it's been this like balance that I've been trying to maintain. And so
I don't know. Yeah, these things. It's all very. They'll keep you chasing on an endless treadmill.
Is that what they do?
Not to be cynical. It's lovely that anyone can see it at all, really.
Let's see. Let me do some kind of background shading color here. Just to kind of pull the Philos away from the background a little bit. Let's see. And then there is a possibility I was seriously nerding out. The day before, I was at the Big Fun used toy shop, and they gave me a discount on what I bought to get me out of the store. And then stream as close to the minimum as you can. That'll push your average up quickly. Yeah, if I can.
What did you want to get? What did Dale buy?
I don't know. Dale, what'd you buy at the store? What'd they give you a discount for?
Robots?
Probably. I don't know. Dale's a big fan of toys in general.
One of those Scarlett Johansson robots.
So am I. Did I show you my new Princess Leia Lego?
No. No, you did not.
So, like, she's got a winter sweater on.
Oh, like she's, is this like Hoth? Leia?
Yeah, she's got a Hoth sweater on.
Nice.
See?
Yeah, I thought that her hair in that scene at Hoth was like the prettiest it was in the whole series.
Oh.
And then I showed you my drinks, right? My resin mini brands.
Yeah, you did show me those. Yeah,
I did cool. Get the octopus with the tequila shots. That was cool.
Nice. Yeah, no, I when I get a chance, I have that Floyd's arcade book nook I'm gonna put together.
Now, did you guys like I'm forgetting the second of the newest ones?
What? Newest one's
Star
what?
Wars with Princess Leia. The last Princess Leia one.
Oh, you're talking about the ones with Rey?
Yes, like the middle one.
Did.
Like, in particular, the middle one where she's in it and Laura Dern's in it and all that. I thought that one I kind of liked it.
It's hard for me to forgive the story problems in that trilogy. Right? There's cool special effects. Every actor in the whole thing is acting their heart out, right? Even Mark Hamill as Luke Skywalker, as a crotchety old Luke Skywalker, is still giving it his best performance. But him being a crotchety Luke Skywalker is so against the themes of the rest of the series that it's just I'm not a fan.
Yeah, I agree with that. That he didn't feel like I was like I sort of, but I at the same time I sort of get it too. I don't know. Yeah, I didn't hate it. I didn't love it. I didn't hate it. Yeah, I didn't think it was the best thing, and I didn't mind that he was drinking the blue milk.
No, drinking the blue milk
was quite fun. Yeah, that's fine. Yeah.
Let's see. I bought a 50s design Godzilla mini and stack of old Gru comics. I went back the next day to get a Judge Dredd action figure like Chuck's. And then Lobius Guy says, I did not like how they did the OG characters. Yeah, and then the trouble was they waited too long to do the sequels and too much time had passed. Well, there was a lot of issues with
if
them
they
trying
had
to
done the sequels instead of the prequels, everything would have been fine.
Well,
because all the actors were the right age still, and it would have been fine.
Okay, but you say that, but my son and his friends, who are like early 20s now, they all think that Phantom Menace is the best movie because that's the one they saw first, and they like Anakin.
The prequel trilogy.
They were too young, but they were young. They saw Jar Jar Binks. They hadn't seen other moronic characters in other films.
The prequel trilogy is a stronger story.
It's grown on me,
and
it's grown on me too. Yeah, I like it too now. After I learned that, I was like, I'll think about it. And I looked again. Now I like it. I don't know. There's too much fussing about it.
Are you done with this panel? Or are you still drawing?
Yeah, I think I'm done.
Okay. Okay, so I'm on panel 5. You're on panel 6.
Yeah.
So what happens after the hate blows up in their chests?
Somebody tell me because I've got no idea.
Let's see. Yeah, I actually like the prequels for the most part. The prequels grew on me. And my whole thing is I really don't like it when an artist made something and then somebody else comes in and tries to cash grab that thing that this artist made, right?
Yeah, George Lucas made is what he wanted to make in those.
But George Lucas, it was his own property, right? That he was cash grabbing, and so it's like,
no, I don't think so. I think he always no. From when I read Star Wars comics at 7 years old, I knew that he wanted to make like a prequels trilogy. He wanted to make three prequels and 3 sequels. And, he was going to do that. And there was all these things. And he said, like, Darth Vader was like burned in a volcano after fighting with Obi-Wan Kenobi. Yeah. All this, Anakin's father. I don't know. There was like all this stuff that was teased. And so I think he knew he wanted to make those movies.
So Dale says Bree wanted to go to the rock shop to buy raw Australian opal. They had some supposedly old Egyptian artifacts, tiny religious icons from 500 to 1000 BC. That's interesting because they're really not supposed to trade in those sorts of things. Or I was scammed and it was tourist crap made 10 years ago, sold to tourists in Egypt. Don't care. It is this tiny Lovecraftian thing and I love it. Los Bake Guy said Lucas did say from the beginning that he originally envisioned 9 movies.
Yeah, I think that was always there, and whatever. They were always, you're going to like the first one was only good because of a bit of a fluke, really.
So what happens after they explode the terrible, awful feelings in their chests? Then what happens? Are they like? Yeah,
I'm just giving it a little enlightened here in terms of doing that.
Are the like would Bluto feel it like Obi-Wan through the Force when Alderaan was destroyed? That like the love for Bluto was destroyed in Philo? Like what's going on here, guys? You gotta help me. Chat.
Amber, I have no idea what I don't understand these relationships.
You're doing fine. That's all you gotta know. You're doing fine. I like the fact.
What about the dog? What about the dog? What's happening with the dog now? Don't we need to find that?
You think we should go back to the dog? Okay, we can do that. So I'll just say back to the dog. So what's going on with the dog?
Yeah.
Well, is the dog smushed to smithereens yet?
Let's see. Meanwhile,
isn't that the end result the mushrooms want?
Let's see. Meanwhile, back with the dog. And I'm thinking, okay, if he was dressed in a French-made outfit and ice road trucking across the landscape, what is worse than that? Oh no, what happened to the dog?
Having dinner with the Kardashians.
So to include Pine Fox in on the story thus far, Philo crashed his spaceship on a planet of mushroom people with his dog. And so when he went off to go get space parts and ended up crawling into the eye of a Cthulhu shroom god, the dog stayed behind and ended up gambling with the mushroom people. So we keep cutting back and forth to the dog having his own adventure. And it's kind of one of those things like where the mind has to fill in what's in between. And then raw boulder opal its matrix looks like a tiny river running through the stone, but it's glassy opal. And then I like Bluto feeling a disturbance in the force with pH. And then I think we've all been in that situation, says Low Base Guy. So should we go back to the dog or should we do Bluto feeling a disturbance in the force? Because
I think dog, because I want to know what's happening.
Okay, meanwhile, back with the dog. Then we'll have
like what's happening with Philo is kind of basic and I don't want to say boring, but it's basic.
Well, how can you say that's
boring? But the dog, it's like nobody knows what's happening with the dog, so it makes the whole juxtaposition between the storylines interesting.
You know what?
Well, how is I'm gonna do? He's having his emotions being dynamited out of his chest.
No. I know what I'm gonna do.
Too basic and boring.
Okay, I know what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna do the dog.
Well, how can Robin be happy? I want to make Robin happy with this next panel, whatever it is.
Okay, so
like
I'm not that hard to please.
Dynamited out of your chest isn't enough for her.
No, I'm just saying that like what's happening with the dog is an interesting juxtaposition between what's happening to Philo. So I think we should continue to go back and forth.
So I'm gonna do the dog on an Akira bike doing the slide.
How does he get on an Akira bike?
you have to fill in between.
Yeah.
That's the joy of the dog's story. Is
Okay.
how did he get on an Akira bike?
That just seems irresponsible storytelling.
Yeah, I like. Yeah, exactly. She'd be the first one to criticize somebody else's story point.
Yeah,
like,
I like
the story points. Oh no, they're no good. But somehow this.
Hey, my stuff makes sense. I have it. Make sure it's cohesive and that it relates to the last panel.
I think it's okay to assume that you know, it's like we are making it relate to the last panel, but yeah. I'm gonna I'm gonna draw this
We'll
dog.
fix it in
Like
post.
maybe the dog has this secret power, like Ant-Man, where he can take tiny things and make them super huge, and that's how he got off the truck.
Okay, you're saying that we have to have cohesive story from one panel to the next, and you just gave him Ant-Man powers.
Yeah, no, you just have to
I'm
do.
trying to figure out how he got off the truck and on a motorcycle.
Well, that's just
Is he still dressed as a frilly maid?
He could be. I was going to put him in Akira clothes, but you think a frilly maid outfit still?
Well,
That's what he was in. I don't know. If you're going to do away with everything, you might as well do away with everything.
Let's see.
Wait, I need to know what I'm drawing.
Okay, so so we're going back to Philo with you, or should no. Okay, Bluto feels a disturbance in the force. Force spelled PHORC,
which is clever.
Yes,
Blue,
and that
okay, feels a disturbance in the PHOR.
I like fossil opal. A jewel I met in Australia had a tiny clamshell fossil mounted as a ring. It was a half rock and half water clear opal that flashed like crazy when the light shifted. And Lobase Guy says, if you need it, I have a frilly maid outfit that doesn't fit me anymore. I will not elaborate.
Ooh, is that Dale?
No, that was Lobase Guy.
Oh.
Hey Dale, I got this ring thinking it might be opal, but then I realized after a few minutes that it's actually like resin. Look, let's see if I can get it in the there. It's got the weird,
pretty.
Yeah, it's got that opal like thing that it does that I let you know.
Now, okay, like, has Bluto displayed any previous force sensitivity in this story?
No,
he's a dink.
Yeah, this is the first time we're seeing Bluto experience some kind of force sensitivity. PHORCE. Force.
All right.
Yeah. Let's do.
I've never drawn Bluto before.
Yeah, I've been pulling up reference usually when I draw them.
Yeah.
But the ring came in a bag like this. It's very cute.
Let's shrink it down just a little bit.
Whenever I think of a frilly maid costume, I always think of Yvette from the movie Clue.
Let's see.
Okay.
There's a lab-grown opal. It really is resin and not expensive, says Kay. And then, opal was my mom's birthstone. So we had a lot of like real opals in the house for her, you know, because she had a lot of rings and like earrings and stuff. And so I just think it's very beautiful. So Kay's saying it's real.
Oh, I just thought it was a blob of resin with like sparkly bits in it. I don't think it makes it an actual stone of opal, does it?
Let's see.
I like it. It's pretty. But I would like one day to get a real opal, because I think those are probably one of the most prettiest of them all. It's all iridescent, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I have a bunch of opals because, again, it was my mom's birthstone. And so she got rid of a bunch of jewelry and gave it to me. And I'm going to have his tongue hanging out while he's doing the slide. Yeah, he's going to be a happy dog doing the slide.
He went from losing everything to being happy.
Yeah, well, you know what? I should have a mushroom person on his back. You know, like
Is the mushroom person messing with his reality? Is this even real on the motorcycle?
I don't know. Like, I just think that, there's suddenly a mushroom person on his back, that's hanging out with him. There we go. A little mushroom person on his back. And yeah.
Oh, wait. Okay, Robin.
Yes.
Have you, okay, it's a bit of a sidetrack, but have you ever heard of a movie called The Passage with Alain Delon? Where he's like...
I've not heard of the movie, but I knew who Alain Delon is.
Yeah, he played an animator who, like, his son's in the hospital.
Yes, Akira Dog.
Animate a film for death. I just thought about it because Alain Delon passed away not recently, but not that long
Yeah,
ago.
no, it's true.
I wondered if he was more in Canada, like maybe people have heard of it. Because nobody's really heard of that movie, even in England, or certainly not here.
It's called Passage?
Yes, The Passage or something like that.
Oh, okay,
Yeah.
I'll look it up. I like
Now,
the animation he makes
and
is a really cool animation. It's like the French animation all working away. It's sort of, I don't know when it was made, probably like sort of late 70s, early 80s sort of thing. And like basically Death wants to sort of make the world so unhappy with this animated movie.
Sounds like a lot of fun.
Yeah.
It sounds like the ending to The Mouth of Madness.
Well, the big one right now is Cronenberg's got a new movie out that's about the hilarity of death and body modification.
Well,
and my friend saw it.
Yes.
Cronenberg's daughters, both his daughters are filmmakers. And they both carry the Cronenberg name, and both of them are not bad. Like, Dad taught him how to put a story together.
Yeah, he's always entertaining. Even when he's like, his most bizarre, I don't know. Some of them are too bizarre for me. I don't know. I could never really get the hang of the naked lunch, even though I actually was in Tangier and I stayed in the hotel room where he wrote some of that in Tangier. Apparently.
Now, was
really
Hellraiser Cronenberg, or was that a different director?
No, it's a different director.
Okay.
I don't know if he ever did any of those. There's Clive Barker, who was like an English horror writer.
Yeah, is the one that wrote Hellraiser, but did he direct the movie too?
I think he actually had quite a lot to do with it for some reason. I can't remember.
Yeah, I like Clive Barker. It's easier for me to read his work than watch it.
I read some of his. Yeah, he was all right. He was quite a good young horror writer at the time. I know Neil Gaiman kind of overtook him, but now Neil Gaiman's in trouble.
Well, he sure is.
That's what happens when you're not right with people. Like you should be right with people. You should treat people right.
Yeah.
And he didn't do that, and now he's in trouble because he did wrong. And so and there's just been more and more stories coming out, and like more and more credible stuff. I don't think it's people just saying stuff.
Okay, but can we talk about Kevin Spacey?
Yeah, Kevin Spacey, and the fact that two of his accusers, like, one of them died mysteriously. Oh, no, excuse me. I think two of them died, like, mysteriously.
Really?
Yeah, I think a fixer was involved.
Really?
Yeah, but that's just me, because Kevin Spacey is, like, connected, and he also made this, like, creepy video where he was like Frank Underwood from House of Cards, talking about how he got away with everything, or did he really do it? But he's like playing that character where he's an unreliable witness as that character, because Frank Underwood was a terrible character as in a person, not as in a character. He was a well-rounded, interesting character, but as a person, you don't want to be friends with Frank Underwood.
Are you saying he's sort of gloating a bit?
I think that he was rubbing it in people's faces that he basically got away with it.
I mean, he did. I mean, that's the thing. I mean, I don't know. It's interesting because it's like, it seemed like, well, everybody, he was well known that he was a horn dog.
Yeah.
And like, if you were going to be in the bar with him at the end of the night, he was going to be making a pass at you.
Well, I mean, like when I was working the junket for Austin Powers 3.
Oh, yeah. Well, this story, yeah.
Yeah. Well, I'm not going to go into the whole thing. I was just sexually harassed.
Yeah.
Right. And the guy who did it got in trouble years and years and years later. But I knew that guy was bad. And
Right,
so,
yeah, it's like there's no smoke without fire. If they do the one thing, they do, and that's sort of what they're finding all the time with like crime and stuff like that. If they're the wife beater, then they're probably doing all the other crimes as well.
Let's see. Dale says, with opal, sometimes jewelers cut a slice of opal and put a clear top on it to make the stone look bigger. A sandwich of a backing, then a thin opal slice, then a clear quartz or a plastic top. It's called triplet. And then Dale says, Clive Barker directed Hellraiser 1987. Kay says, Neil got to start writing for Knave, a smarmy British men's magazine. And then Dale says,
Knave. Knave was quite, it was pretty, it was like Hustler or something,
Dale says, F. Kevin Spacey, just give those roles to Michael Caine. And then Kay says, so when you see endings, look at the beginnings.
When I used to manage the comic book side of a used bookstore, we found a fan picto book written by Neil Gaiman for Duran Duran. It was like super early 80s. I guess probably one of the first things he ever wrote.
He was like a young man in London, like writing articles wherever he could. Yeah.
Well, I mean, he was also someone, back before people were mad at him. Someone was talking about like.
Thank you, low base guy.
Oh,
have a good sleep.
Time for bed. Yeah, I'll leave your tab. Thank you, low base guy. We're actually going to be finishing up here in about 9 minutes, so you won't have to leave the tab open for too much longer. But I was going to say something. I guess it wasn't that important.
What? No, but everybody says is very important.
Yeah.
In the universe, just think what a miraculous fact that you can even voice a conscious thought. It's a miracle.
Yes. It's amazing that we communicate by passing air through our throats.
Yeah, throat warblers.
Yes.
The aliens out there, they think they probably their name for us is that we're the.
Do you know which creature has the most sophisticated language?
Dolphins?
Yeah. Do you know which creature has the most sophisticated language?
My guess was dolphins.
I'm going to say an octopus.
Octopus doesn't really have a language. It's like body language.
That's so sophisticated that you can't understand it.
Well, this is a vocal language that you can actually hear.
Meerkats! Meerkats have an amazing
language. It's not meerkats, but it's close. It's prairie dogs. They have the most sophisticated language. Like, it's the biggest.
You know all those search books I was doing? Yeah. They started because, like, meerkats, they had this Meerkat Manor show. Meerkats are really popular and everything was meerkat. And so the publisher did Where's the Meerkat to, like, cash in on that. And then that did really well. And then they started doing all the other sort of search and finds. But it was really Where's the Meerkat, which was a bit of an odd one because it was more just done to cash in on the meerkats.
Yes.
But they started.
Did it work? Did they cash in?
Well, I guess so, because it started a whole little craze. I mean, they did a Where's the Meerkats Lost in Time. There's another. I didn't work on those ones. They've got a guy, Paul Moran, who's actually a pretty accomplished illustrator, I would say, works on those. There's all these very accomplished illustrators, people like Paul Moran and Chuck Dillon. They know their business.
Gosh, Chuck always has work. It's like, if you have too much, just pass it along, man. He always has work. Like, he's always like, yeah, I just finished this book. Oh, I just finished this article. I just finished this for people. And then he does his, like, sketches every day. He's so disciplined.
Well, he is. Yeah, no, he's great. I love him. He did Where's the fart book wasn't too bad. I don't know. I was asked to do Where's the Pooh. I don't know. I mean, always like, he probably would have done Where's the Pooh. I'm like, I didn't want to be the way, but I just sort of knew it was going to be probably the most successful book I did.
Yeah, Where's the Pooh?
I didn't want that one on my tombstone.
Sure you did.
No, I didn't. Thank you. I'll be the guy that passed up on Where's the Pooh.
Let's see. You
can remember me as that. The guy that said
no. All right, guys. I think I'm going to go now.
Okay.
I'm starting to nod off, and there's only like 6 more minutes left.
Yeah. All right. Well, I just finished my last panel here anyway, so.
Yeah.
Your Bluto is perfect.
Yeah, he's awesome.
You should have like a little woman somewhere looking love hearts up after him because he doesn't care that Philo hates him. He's already moved on.
Yeah, he is revenge fucking. Like he thinks that's gonna make Philo angry.
Yes.
Yeah.
Exactly. Exactly. Yeah. Anyways, good night, Dale. Good night, Kay.
Hi, Robin. Always great to see you.
Always.
It was fantastic to see you.
Yes.
Happy Canadian Thanksgiving, guys.
Happy Canadian Thanksgiving.
Yeah, have a good one.
Have a good wedding, Dale. Even though you're not in it, you're just a part of it.
Yeah, don't start any fights. My friend at college.
Good night, Pine Park.
Good night. Let's see.
Good night, Magic Marmot.
Says Dale, and then Kay says good night. Low Base Guy said it's it's time for bed for them.
Yeah. It's time for bed for me. It's a long day. Like these drawing shows, it's quite exhausting. Because we do it in the morning and do it again. It's late.
Yeah, but I still tune in as a fan to your morning show, and then I do this show. So.
Well, I do try to tune into the show, but being a Saturday night, I do sometimes.
Yeah, you're always busy on Saturday night.
I don't know. I liked it in the pandemic where I didn't have to be busy.
Yeah.
But all right.
Okay, I'm adding shading. Let's see, I got 4 minutes, so that gives me plenty of time to just kind of add some shading to this Akira bike. Who knows why the dog is now riding an Akira bike? Like maybe we'll find out his story later. I don't know. Why is the dog riding an Akira bike? I don't know.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to finding out what any of this. Oh, that's a pretty good Akira bike, though. Okay.
Well, it helps when you have reference too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I loved Akira. Okay, I went to see that. So I was in college, and it was out, and I was sort of like, I don't know, I watched some anime. But I really not till after Akira came out, and I thought, oh, that looks really interesting. And I always thought Japanese animation looked interesting. We didn't really get to see any of it. I had a vague memory that maybe we had a bit of a Speed Racer.
Yeah.
There was some stuff I saw in France, and I'd be like, oh, that looks cool. Why do we never see this stuff? I was really quite annoyed later when I saw things like Miyazaki. I was like, why the hell weren't we shown that?
Well, my generation was really into manga and anime. And so, we basically sought that stuff out when your generation wasn't really exposed to it.
No, I mean, I had to go find it. I would go to London, and I sort of joined a sort of little club. But actually, worked out my friend worked with a guy who had sort of signed up for the Manga Video of the Month Club or whatever. So we would watch all his videos.
Okay.
Which was quite good. So I saw a lot of things. There's a few of them from that era. Tank Police and Venus Wars are two that I always tell people that I love. Yeah.
Yeah. Again, my generation would seek it out. So oftentimes we would get it in Japanese without any English. And so, or you'd have English subtitles. And so you'd be sitting there like listening to Japanese, watching subtitles, and we would pass the VHS tapes to each other in high school. You know, like, oh, I just finished Evangelion, and here you're the next person to borrow it. And oh man, I just finished, Sailor Moon or whatever.
Yes, that was all a bit later. Yes, so I didn't really sort of see. So yeah, sort of Sailor Moon or Cowboy Bebop and things like that. I still haven't really ever seen any of that. Yeah. Yeah.
I got 2 minutes to finish this panel. Here, let me put myself in the big one so people can see my Akira
That's
dog.
great.
Yeah. See my Akira dog. I know I'm kind of going pretty quick on the artwork here. But that's okay.
That's what it's all about. I mean, you can spend a year on a painting, or you can tell a comic like a comic anyway, because you move a comic, it's different because you've got to get the story, you've got to get the thing done, you've got to move through it. And the reader's moving through it. Yeah, exactly.
Let's see, let's do this, and then we're gonna do that, and then I think I'm just gonna fill in kind of the like trees and stuff. I don't know, it's weird. It's weird.
Yeah.
So last time the dog was kind of in a Mad Max situation, and now this time, it's like curing. And so I guess we're just going to make it more and more extreme as we go on.
Well, that's quite good. Well, I've got to say, this is the third time I've done the show. By the time I get to the end of the show, I do understand what happened, what we did.
Yeah.
And we did do something quite good and funny. So I feel like, Oh, that's good.
So okay, so kind of reviewing where we were. I did panel 2, 3, and 5, and so just for me, Philo's group therapy, and then the Philos rip their pain out, and then I have the dog is a Kyrian.
Okay, yeah, and I have, well, I was going to show him, I got Bluto there, and, well, the first one I did was dog tied to the front of the truck.
Here, let me put you in the main one. Yeah,
Okay, there's the dog on the snow truck.
I love that. I want that original. I want that original, by the way.
All right, I'll save it for you.
Yeah.
And
yeah, that's beautiful.
The emotions bursting at being dynamited out of Philo's chest, which for some reason Robin didn't think that was exciting enough.
She didn't think that was exciting enough.
She's like, oh, like she said, just normal things are happening to Philo. I'm like, okay.
I like the fact that you gave it a face. That's a nice touch. You know, the fact that it's like it looks very distressed, being destroyed.
Yeah, I learned that you know, if in doubt, if you're a cartoonist, just put a face on it.
Yes, and then what's your last panel?
And the last panel was Bluto. There we go.
Yes, where he's feeling it through the force. That Philo is destroying his pain. So awesome! I appreciate that. I have to leave up your art for a second. Let me do this so then that we were like that, so I can hear you. Okay. And so Robin left us a little early. Pine Fox says maybe he was invited into a biker gang and all the panels look amazing. Thank you, Pine Fox. That's very nice of you. So thank you, everyone, for joining us for the 39th episode of Philo. We have a new guest next week. I have to look at my schedule to see who it is. Thank you very much, Chuck, for joining me as fellow guest artist.
All right, always fun. I look forward to coming back again sometime.
Yeah, and so I'm gonna close you out and close out your screen. Here we go. Okay, there we go. And thank you, audience, for joining us this week. And I really appreciate you guys joining us every week and helping us write the story. See you guys in the future. Have a great one.